What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Samantha Rates the Recipe. I hope that you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know you're probably like, not Happy New Year, where you been, girl? Well, long story short, I was really anxious about the channel and whether or not it would be successful, and I got in my head about things, but I had to remind myself what I'm here for, and really it's just to enjoy cooking, to try those recipes out that I see that look good to me. And if you're interested in doing the same, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. We are going to be here every Monday with a new video, and I have what I think is going to be an exciting year planned for us. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna subscribe to the channel, you're gonna like the video, and what we're doing this year is we're not just rating recipes, we're rating the MasterClass app as a whole and the individual cooking courses as well. So this month we're doing Joanne Chang's, I believe it's called The Joy of Baking, or How to Bake, or something like that, or Baking Like a Pro. I'll leave what the actual course is called down in the description below. But she starts off her course with what are her famous chocolate chunk cookies, and so that's what we're making today. It looks like it's an easy recipe, and each week we'll build in difficulty, so we will see how it goes. So I hope that you enjoy the video, and let's get right into it. Okay guys, so right off the bat, her recipe starts off different than any chocolate chip cookies I've ever made. She uses bread flour and she measures everything out. So I will put the measurements down below in the descriptions box, and she did not do that on the app, so just be clear, you need to be paying attention if you get the app. So we're at 160 grams of bread flour, not ounces, hold on. Oh, we gotta store it over. So, y'all can see I'm just real regular. Okay, boom, boom. We on grams now. Oops. So, tear it out to grams. And then, boom. So, it wasn't on grams, it was on ounces. So I was like, what in the world? That ain't measuring right. So let's try again. Don't worry about a mess, honey. So 160 grams of bread flour. We're at 97, 131. What did I say, 160? So there, 160 grams of bread flour, boom. Scooch that to the side. Then 150 grams of regular all-purpose flour. Zero it out so we can start again. That's 44. That's 118. All right, so 150 grams of all-purpose flour. And then we come in with the baking soda, which is, how much? Can you see it? Teaspoon. Sometimes you gotta step away, honey, and see what it is. Okay, so now we got a teaspoon of baking soda. You can just stick it in here and use the lip to, need a little bit more. Use the lip to level it off. Bam. And then a quarter teaspoon of kosher salt. Ba-da-ba. I keep my kosher salt and I mix it in a jar. Boop. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix it up a little bit with a fork so that everything is even throughout both flours, and then we'll come back and do our wet ingredients. Okay, so now we're gonna measure out our sugar, and it's 150 grams of regular granulated sugar and 165 grams of light brown sugar, and she put it all in the same bowl. So We're gonna do the same thing. Hold up. Boom, 150. Come on in with that light brown sugar. It's a lady on, I'm sure she's on all social media, but she's an older black lady, and she shows like old ways to do things and how to make like brown sugar and dark brown sugar for that matter. And I never knew that it's basically just brown sugar, it's just molasses and white sugar mixed together. So that's how you make brown sugar if you don't have none and you have molasses. But who just be having molasses, okay? So 165 of the brown, light brown. Okay, so with her eggs, she did not just plop them into the thing while she was, you know, creaming the butter and sugar. She was like, nope, crack your eggs first, honey. And then you're gonna mix in the vanilla to the egg, and that's what she was on. So we got our vanilla, teaspoon of it. And then just whisk them up. Whisk them? I don't know, whisk them up, you know what I'm saying? Like you make it is. If my hands are ashy, just know it's because I'm washing them. So we need 225 grams of 60 to, I think it was 90% chocolate, and then milk chocolate, 70 grams. So this is 113 grams per bar. So I know that this is enough, and I'm just gonna chop it up. I don't need to weigh it, but I will weigh out the milk chocolate. So, boom. Now she had a huge freaking block of chocolate, honey. I don't know where she got that from, but at my grocery store, this is what they got. So this is what we're using. Honey, not child proof. Why is everything I'm trying to open today child proof? Okay. Don't get the foil in your chocolate. Okay. There we go. We got extra. Okay. Because she had huge blocks of chocolate, her chocolate was like really super chunky. So I'm gonna try to do the same. Just some, you know, rough chops, but not as many shards. I'm gonna try to keep the chunks chunky. If I'm honest though, with chocolate chip cookies, I prefer the dough more than the actual cookie itself. Even though I do like chocolate chip cookies, don't get me wrong. I don't know, I like the dough better. All right, so I'm just put our chocolate into the bowl. All right, so that's a mess, but we're not gonna worry about it. So then we're gonna measure out 60 grams of the milk chocolate. What I think I'm gonna do is take the scale, sit it in this mess, but we just gonna be like, you know, listen. And measure it out, then chop it up. Because that's what makes sense to me. So, is it 60? How much is it? Of the milk chocolate? 70 grams. Y'all, don't listen to me. Just listen to me. 70 grams. So 2 is 60. That's 74. Cut you in half. $70. Okay. So if you're using Ghirardelli chocolate squares, it's gonna be 4 and like 3/4 squares. So it's chunky. As chunky as I'm comfortable with. Okay. So we're gonna clean up, and now that it has been 50 hours of prep, we're gonna actually get into making some cookies. So let's do it. So now I started opening my butter because y'all know I be having trouble opening stuff. This is a pound of butter, 2 sticks, or 2 sticks of butter, but I buy my butter like the European style sometimes when I'm baking, and they come like one whole thing is basically a pound of butter, 2 sticks. So boom. It is room temperature. She creamed the heck out of the butter for like 4 minutes, then scrape down the edges, then 2 minutes, then scrape down the edges, then another like minute, and then she added the sugar. So I am going to start with the butter and cream the heck out of it. All right, so now we have our butter and sugar cream. Hers was super light and pale and fluffy. That's the stage that we are at as well. Then we're gonna stream in our eggs after I wipe down the sides this last time. And then we're gonna turn it on slow so that the eggs won't like splash out of my hand. Okay, so we're gonna pause our mixing right here for just a quick second. So what she did was she took her chocolate, put it into the flour, and then she kind of mixed it in. I'm assuming that it's so that the chocolate will like, I don't know, like not sink or something. Usually like when you make fruit pies, you will like dredge the fruit into the flour to the cornstarch so that it won't sink down. So I'm just assuming, because I don't remember what she said. I don't think she said that it was for that reason, but here we go. So we're going to take our flour mixture, plop it in, and then slowly let it mix so the flour don't fly all over the place, right? Sorry about that shakeration. So watch me pour it in. Okay, cool. So we're gonna pour in the rest of the mixture, but we don't want to over mix it, she said, so it won't get tough. So we're gonna just mix it up just enough for it to get wet and then fold in with the spatula at the end. So she was like, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. And then I think that's really enough here. And then she took the spatula and like finished it off, which makes sense. I mean, you don't want no tough cookies, honey. So, oh, it's hard. Okay, it's hard. Yeah, it is. So now we're gonna just scoop them out. 6 on the tray is what she said. I've had them sitting out for like 20 minutes and it's still pretty solid. You feel me? So there's that. You're gonna have to use the strength of God to get them out, okay? Because that butter done got solid. And then we're gonna put them in the oven at 350 for between 15 and 18 minutes. And that's gonna be that. Okay, so I feel like they've set up enough to transfer from the parchment to put on the cooling rack. Ooh, it's chocolatey. I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. They look good. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. My favorite part of the chocolate chip cookies ain't really the chips, you know? And for these to be so chunky, they clearly chunky, full of chocolateness. They look good and they smell super good, I will say that. So we're gonna let them cool off and then we're gonna go. Okay guys, so the cookies are done. The chocolate chunk cookies by Joanne Chang. We got a few set out. We got a few here. This is how they look, obviously, before we put them in. And I mean, listen, pat on my back, because they do look just like hers did in the video, the tutorial lesson, whatever. Let me just tell you though, I'm concerned because I don't really like the chocolate chip part that much. That's not the part I like. But I'm gonna be a good sport and taste this one, and we gonna just, you know. I mean, no, it's chocolate. I don't dislike them it's too chocolatey for me. So having said that, I'm gonna give them a 7 out of 10 because I know that they're a good cookie, but for my taste, right, is the ratio of cookie to chocolate chips or chocolate chunks is just off balance for me. But I do think it's important that she added the 70% chocolate versus just a little bit of milk chocolate to give that contrast between the super sweetness of milk chocolate and that kind of bitterness of dark chocolate. So I like that aspect of it. She's right. It is good for the cookie to have that balance, right? So if you've enjoyed this video and you haven't already, first of all, I don't know what your problem is. Go on and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Do you like your chocolate chip cookies with more like cookie than chocolate chips, or more chocolate chips to cookie? I'm curious. And then follow us, because next week, if you haven't already hit that button, go on and ring the bell, because we're going to be making brioche. That's the second lesson. So I'll catch y'all next time.